Hi, I'm Jason Hamilton, and this is a walkthrough of my most recent book, Color Me Beautiful, Women of the World. After making 2 coloring books featuring cats, I wanted to do something different. I watched blogs and Facebook groups to get an idea about subjects. People seem to enjoy coloring beautiful women, and sometimes fairies. Someone had mentioned ethnic women were underrepresented in coloring books. So it came to me that perhaps a trip around the world would be interesting. Here's the cover of the book. Standard title page, copyright info, and colorist page. Coloring people, jewelry, and fabric is challenging, but I don't want to stress you out. I don't want you to worry about ruining a picture. I want you to relax, and I want you to have fun. I try to make every picture work with both flat colors as well as shading. There's no right or wrong way to color. One of my favorite things about making coloring books is seeing how each colorist will take the same simple line drawing and do something completely unique and different from everyone else. You can be serious or totally goofy. Most of the pictures in this book will have an empty space as the background. The reason is simple. This is what colorists had asked me for. They told me they wanted to concentrate on the figure. They didn't want small objects taking away from the subject. They like to use soft pastels or eyeshadow for the background color, and they have the option of filling in the background with scenery of their own choosing. Now that this book has been printed, a few people have been asking me for backgrounds, proving that I cannot please everyone. So if you let me know your preference, I'll keep it under advisement for the future. I've divided the pictures in this book into 3 groups of 10. The first 10 are the simplest. I used plain fabrics and skin tones from light to medium, and hairstyles are simple. Within that, I tried to give some variety. The first lady is from Korea. She's wearing a traditional costume called the hanbok. This picture is one of my free downloads available on my website. I also used her in a tutorial to show how unconventional colors from a pencil set can give nice skin tones. The second picture is from France. She's very post-World War II, 1950s or 1960s. Striped shirt, bandana, cropped hair, and a black beret. Next we have Polynesia, or Hawaii. She has tropical flowers in her hair. You can color her wrap a solid color, or add whatever print you'd like. Fourth picture is a flamenco dancer from Spain, with a red dress and dark background. But she's been colored as a Mexican dancer with a colorful dress and Mexican party decorations in the background. She's also one of the freebies available on my website, so you can download her and have fun. Spain, Mexico, whatever works for you. Fifth is a traditional Italian costume of the 19th century. Sixth picture is Southeast Asia. This is actually my mom. She was born in Singapore. I used a picture of her when she was in her 40s. She's won quite a few beauty contests when she was younger, and she's still a beautiful woman. For those of you who have cat books, this is the face of the cat rescue lady. She and my dad raise cattle in the Midwest now. A lot of people dump their unwanted pets out in the country. So my mom rescues the cats, gets them vetted, socializes them, and fattens them up. I think my parents have more cats than cows now. Seventh picture is a Canadian native dressed with furs. Her long hair is in a braid. It's very cold up there. After all that fur comes number 8, a belly dancer from Morocco. I colored this one and added all sorts of sparkles to her costume with metallic gel pens. Number 9 is a Native American. A few years ago I traveled around the western states in an RV. I ended up visiting quite a few reservations and Native American sites. Their art is incredible. Beadwork, silversmithing, weaving, pottery, the intricate work and variety of their costumes. Definitely worth supporting these arts before they die out. Number 10 is the Cowgirl, an all-American Western cowgirl. Did I mention my dad raises cows? His family was amongst the first settlers. His father and generations before were all farmers. I never met anyone like her on his ranch. My dad will be 70 this year, and he still rides an ATV, drives a tractor, and herds cattle. If they had someone like her, I may have stayed instead of getting into computer programming. This is the intermediate group. The drawings here get a little bit more difficult to color. The costumes are more intricate, and the last 2 ladies have dark skin. First up is a bride. The bride comes with a variety of textures in her costume. Transparent mesh veil with embroidery, a lace bodice, and a satin dress. She has tousled hair, white pearls, and a bouquet of lilies and roses. Next up, we have a Southern belle. lace, lace, and more lace. Long wavy hair spilling out from under her sun hat, a frilly off-the-shoulder dress, and an enormous lace umbrella. Number 3 is the United States. This one can change dramatically depending on the colors you choose, and in that way she actually represents a mix of ethnicities within the United States. Number 4 is an English rose, wrapped in an antique piano shawl with roses in her long hair. Number 5 is Japan. Of course, black, shiny, upswept hair, traditional costume, and a parasol to protect her delicate skin. 6 is Pakistan. I added a print to her dress and lots of sewn-in jewels and sequins into her scarf. Number 7, Peru. Peru is another country rich with handcrafted items, weaving, sewing, pottery, and much of it is reflected in their handmade costumes. Number 8 is Nepal. I have a friend who lives in the very furthest northwestern part of Bangladesh. He was very helpful with researching the costumes from Nepal. I'm amazed at the weight of the heavy amber and silver jewelry worn by the women of the Nepalese tribes. A reflection of the wealth their families have, sometimes the girls are so laden down with enormous beads that they have to be carried on a chair. Number 9, Jamaica. Colorful prints and big jewelry on a sun-kissed skin. It's hot, hot, hot. 10 is Southern Africa. I was actually born in Africa, Cairo, Egypt. My father was working there at the time. I've traveled and lived all across the world, but I never had a chance to visit South Africa, so it was interesting to researching the various tribes, the different costumes, and jewelry for her dress. We finally reached the challenging illustrations in the third section of this book. First up is India. This is an Indian bride. Have you ever attended an Indian wedding? They're a 3-day-long affair, and they're very expensive. Brides are dressed in incredibly fine jewelry. Fabrics run from heavy brocade to light silks, with thousands of sequins and jewels sewn in. Henna on her hands and complex jewelry completes the outfit. Next up is Kamchatka. I had a DNA test done a while back, one of those 23andMe tests that tell you where your ancestors have come from. To my surprise, I had a maternal line from Kamchatka, which is a sparsely populated peninsula in the far northeastern part of Russia. So here's a girl from Kamchatka. Number 3 is Victorian Lace, also known online as the hippie girl. She's in this book and was also selected for the adult coloring book treasury. Number 4 is from the United States, Canada, Australia, Europe, even Russia, dressed in paisley, daisies, and a bow on her hat. Number 5 is a traditional Russian costume. She's also the lady on the front of our cover. 6 is Mexico. She wears a traditional cotton embroidered blouse, has long dark wavy hair, and holds back a curtain that you will fill in with vibrant colors of our southern neighbor. Number 7 is from Norway. She's wearing a knitted sweater and surrounded by the national flower. You can also see their wonderful lakes and mountains. Number 8 is Brazil. It's Carnival time. I had fun coloring this one in as well. Lots of color and sparkle, though I could see her in any number of color combinations. Number 9, Sleeping Beauty in Switzerland. I worked off of a picture of alpine flowers in her hair and growing all around her. When I was done, I thought, those look an awful lot like poppies. No wonder she's asleep. The last picture in our book, Irish Lace. After the devastation of the potato famine, nuns taught young girls to crochet lace. The lace was sold to wealthy women in England and France and kept many families from starving to death. Ireland's recovery was, in large part, in the hands of an army of young teenage girls who spent hundreds of hours in dim light crocheting intricate patterns of thread-like yarn into collars, blouses, and dresses. Here's one of those girls, grown up, modeling one of her creations for you. In the back of the book, I've included close-ups of several pictures for those of you who want to color faces and play with makeup. I hope you've enjoyed our tour of the world, and the view of the inside of the book inspires you to try your hand at coloring your favorites. Thanks.